Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. Welcome to your YouTube channel. We hope everybody is doing well. We hope you're hanging in there during this K1 green card process, or maybe you're in a spousal visa. I don't know. But whatever it is you're in, we're here to help you. I got 10 years experience processing green cards and K1 visas. And if you qualify for the benefit, and if you put together a really good green card application or K1 visa application, spousal visa application, you're going to get the benefit and you can be reunited with your loved one. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, and I don't work for USCIS. But I should, actually. I think I should, because I know the process inside and out. So if you have any questions regarding how to process a K1 visa, if you want to know how to file a green card application, if you want to know how to lift the conditions off of a 2-year green card, if you need me to help you with a CL1 IR1 spousal visa or a tourist visa, I will help you for free. It doesn't cost you a penny. That's the best part of this whole channel, right? You can come on here and I can give you this information that you don't have a clue about, and it doesn't cost you anything. But I know how to do it. I've got Karina. Now, Karina, she's from Venezuela. And Venezuela, they just installed Maduro for his third 6-year term as the communist dictator of Venezuela. So to all the wonderful people in Venezuela, hang in there. Just be strong. Dictators do not last long, okay? They don't. And everybody's woken up to this guy. So if you're trying to get a K1 visa and you're from Venezuela, we understand that you're going to have to go to Colombia or Ecuador or Peru or Chile or Brazil to go to the scary visa interview, because the United States does not recognize that communist dictator, Nicolas Maduro. He was a taxi driver, okay? He knows how to drive a taxi. I don't know how he ever got into being a politician. I think Hugo Chavez handpicked him. But he's irrelevant, okay? He's an irrelevant little dictator. No countries recognize him other than a few, like Nicaragua. Daniel Ortega, that communist dictator, he recognized Maduro. And I think that's about it for South America and Central America. No other country recognizes him. So to the folks in Venezuela, just be patient. Trump will be sworn into office on January 20th, President-elect Trump, and he doesn't like Maduro. And the U.S. government also just put a $25 million bounty. They increased the bounty from $15 million to $25 million. So if you live in Venezuela and you would like $25 million, okay, all you got to do is, well, you know what you got to do. And the U.S. government will take care of the rest with a nice payday for you, $25 million. So Maduro's got nowhere to go. The European Union, the British government, South America, Central America, they all told Maduro to pack sand. We don't recognize you. And so what can he do? He can go to Russia. He can go to communist China. He can go to Iran. That's about it. Larry Piercy. Permission to come aboard. Come on, Larry. Mogi says, hello, Karina.
Hi, Mogi.
Well, Mogi, what's going on with Mogi? How is she doing? Now, Mogi's from Thailand, and she's learning English pretty good. Frank Valdez, what's up from Chicago? Well, what's going on, Frank? How is your family? How's everybody doing? We are here to help you get your K1 visa, to get your green card. Okay, Karina got her green card last year, June 25th, 2024. Now, our basic process was I filed for the K1 visa for Karina in April of 2022. Okay. It took a year and a month, somewhere like about 14 months to get her K1 visa approved because of the COVID was getting over and all the embassies were coming out from their hibernation. And then we got her K1 visa approved. And then the MVC sent us the welcome letter about 3 months later. So I came back to the United States. I was in Colombia with Karina, and I filed Once I got the National Visa Center welcome letter, then I just waited for the ready status and the in transit and all that. Well, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia got it 11 days later, and then I got the ready status, and then I got on the computer in October of 2023. Now remember, Karina's NOA2 letter had expired in September. Okay, so I got on the computer in October, and then in November I had scheduled her scary K1 visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, November of 2023. And now here we are. Karina got her work permit and then her green card, and everything's rocking and rolling. Now we're just waiting for the 2 years to pass, which will be next year, and then we're going to apply for her 10-year green card, lifting the conditions off of her 2-year green card. Now, Frank Valdez says, once your I-485 got approved, how long did your wife's green card take to arrive in your mailbox? 3 months and 2 weeks and 3 days. But remember, when we filed I put together a green card application, number one, with Karina, that was absolutely fantastic. Okay? It was like this, there was all this evidence. Okay? We included pictures from when we first started dating and going out together in Colombia in 2021. We dated for a year. I filed for the K1 visa in 2022. We had pictures. I had my name on the receipt we rented an apartment in Bogota. So my name and Karina's name was on the rent receipts for the Bogota apartment. And Senor Fernando was our landlord. We're grateful to him for helping Karina get into an apartment, being that she was from Venezuela. Okay. But we put together an excellent green card application. We arrived in the United States on January 4th or 3rd. It was the 3rd. Yeah, I'm just testing. On January 3rd, we arrived in Miami. And I rented a car and we drove here to the northern panhandle of Florida. And then 58 days later, we filed for the green card. It took about 58 days. We had to first get her on the bank as a joint owner of the bank. And we couldn't do that without a social security number. So first we applied for Karina's social security number. It came in the mail with her maiden name on it and a big statement on the front that said, you are not authorized to work without permission from Homeland Security, or something like that. So what does that mean? Well, it means Karina has her social security card with her social security number, which means we could put her on the bank, okay, as a joint owner, but she couldn't go to work. Not until she got her work permit and green card, or either one. She got her work permit in the mail after a month, and then she started work, and then 3 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days later, something like that, she got her green card. It was pretty good, but we put together a fantastic green card application with 0 mistakes. Okay? You cannot make a mistake when you file for a green card. You cannot make a typo. You cannot put the passport number in incorrectly. You cannot make a spelling mistake on the name. You got to be perfect. It took 3 months, Frank. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. How are you on this lovely Saturday evening? Es bonito sábado noche. Bien? Okay. So we're good. We're great, Francois. Now, Francois is in upstate New York, where it's freaking cold. I have a silly question about the I-864, the affidavit of support. I honestly do not like to fill out immigration paperwork. Well, that's why we're here. Come on, Francois, what's the question on the affidavit of support? I am here, sitting in this chair in Florida with beautiful Karina from Venezuela, so I can help you put together your green card application. And if you need help with your I-864, ask me the question, and I'll give you the answer. Okay? Let me see. Larry Piercy, is it cold in Milton? I don't know. Cold where you are. I don't know. I don't live in Milton. We don't live in Milton. And I don't put out where we live. I just say we're in the panhandle of Florida near Pensacola. Francois, it's cold in Florida. Yeah, it's like 42 degrees. But, there's no snow. Okay? There's no snow here. Larry Piercy, yeah, but it's going to be cold only for a couple of months. January and February usually pretty cold. Some days are pretty warm. Some days are pretty cold. It depends. And then by March and April, it starts to warm up again. And then Karina gets to experience her second summer in Florida. Her first summer in Florida was good, but she's a little irritated because I didn't take her to the beach that summer. We were too busy doing stuff. She was working, looking, doing this. We were painting the house. We repainted the whole house, so we were busy. But this summer, I'll take her to the beach. Francois Livingston, in part 6 of the I-864, number 7, it asks my individual annual income. Is that for my work income only, or do I have my work income and the income I get from the annuity? That is everything, Francois. That is your annuity income, your income from your job, your income from your, if you created money from your interest from your savings account or your money market account, however much money you made in 2024 that you filed, okay, or you probably haven't filed it yet because it's still early. You haven't got your W-2 yet. But it's however much money you made in 2024. And you got until April 15th to file your taxes with the IRS, okay? Now, if you got married in 2024 with Hamid, which I think you did, I know you did, right? Right? In December or in January? November, right? You got married in November. You can file a joint tax return with Hamid, okay, for 2024 income. So you're going to be first, your name will go first, and then his name will go second. You'll put your social security number in there, his social security number in there. Yeah, you got married November 8th. Right. Now, Karina remembers everybody's freaking birthday when they got married. She's got a family of 1 billion people in Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, and she knows all of their birthdays. Like today, she was telling me, well, today is it Oriana? Well, today is Oriana's birthday. Where donde vive Oriana? Oriana lives in Colombia, and Karina said, yeah, today's Oriana's birthday. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? And then she said, well, 4 days ago, it was Janeska? And she said 4 days ago, it was Janeska's birthday. And I'm like, what? How do you remember these names? Well, you know the names, but how do you remember their birthdays? I just know one birthday. And that's Karina's. That's Karina's birthday. I just remember her birthday. I don't even remember my birthday. But Karina, she knows everybody's birthday. You know, like in this, huh? It's in her mental, it's in her mind. She said it's in her brain. See, like in December, she was telling me, oh, today's so-and-so's birthday. And then so-and-so, and then tomorrow is, I'm like, dang. Don't, you giving me a headache. Okay. Francois, you got married November 8th. Karina's right. Karina remembered. She said you got married November 8th. She told me November 8th, which is the 8th, right? And she'll in next November, on November 8th, she's gonna, if we're doing a live stream that day, she's gonna say, hey, Francois, if you're on the channel, hey, happy anniversary. She will. She'll remember. Okay. Now our wedding anniversary is January 14th. So that's in 3 days. 3 days. Our first wedding anniversary. And we're looking forward to that. I got my Venezuelan hat on in support of the people of Venezuela. Karina was like asking me questions about Maduro getting sworn in as president. And I said, don't worry about Maduro. He's irrelevant. The president of Venezuela is Armando Gonzalez. Okay? That's the president of Venezuela. Maduro just thinks he is. He's having one of these, I don't know, these dreams of power and security and whatever. But Maduro is not the president of Venezuela. Edmundo Gonzalez is the president of Venezuela. And right now, the President Biden, who's fixing to leave office soon, put a $25 million bounty on the head of Nicolas Maduro. So if you're living in Venezuela and you would like $25 million, you know what you got to do. And you know where Maduro is, right? Do you know where he is? If you know where he is, you could earn $25 million. It sounds like The Price is Right. I used to like watching The Price is Right when I was like in the early 80s. I'd watched, Bob Barker come on and do The Price is Right. And then they got this new guy came on, Drew Carey, Drew or whatever his name is. And then he did pretty good, but I preferred the Bob Barker Price is Right guy. So Maduro, you're on The Price is Right, dude. You have got $25 million bounty on your head. Where's Clint Eastwood? We need to send Clint Eastwood into Venezuela and collect that bounty. Francois Livingston, Diego, but then on part 6, it's asking for the sponsor's employment and income. Okay, that's you. That's about you. So many repetitive questions. Yes, immigration is trying to see if you're going to make a different answer. Okay, they ask you 3 questions a different way to see if you give 3 different answers or 2 different answers. Okay, if you give 2 different answers, there's a problem. So whatever you say in the first part, number 7 of part 6, is going to equal what you're going to say, okay, in the next part. It's easy. And remember, Francois, your family size is 2. So when you look at the I-864, you're going to put on, let me see, I'll show you, it's right here. The I-864 is an easy form to fill out, but lots of people make the mistake all the time on this form. Here it is. It's only 12 pages long, okay? The I-864 is only 12 pages long. And the current edition expires on 10/31/2027. The edition date is 10/17/2024. It expires on 10/31/2027. It's 12 pages. It's easy to fill out. Now, most people, they make the mistake on page 5, right? This is the family size, right? You can see that. Sorry, Corinne, I don't want to block you. This is the family size. But down here, you got to take that 1 out of there, get some white it out, and you're going to put 2 in there, Francois, right here. You're going to put, I can't see what I'm doing. You're going to put a 2 right in there. And you're going to put 1 here for you and 1 here for Hamid. Okay? You get it? Can you see that? 1 for Hamid here, 1 for you here. The rest of these are going to be 0, and then 2 here. And you have to change the 1 because the computer automatically creates a 1. So you get some white out. Get something like this. I'm going to lean over. And you get something like this. You see that? And you go right here, right? And you go, poof, it's now 0. And then you're going to put 2 in there, Francois. Tell me you understand what I just said. Now I'll leave this over here. Let's see. Page 5 asks about family size. That's right. Page 5 is family size. I just explained it to you. Here's your family size. Right, here's your family size. Right here. So Hamid's going to go here. Number 1 is going to be a 1. Right? You're going to go here as a 1. All these will be 0. And this is going to be 2. You and Hamid. 1 plus 1 is 2. Disregard everything in there. How about that for some excellent advice? How about that? Francois, tell me you understand what I just said. Zena, hello, our green card and work permit was returned twice. Why? Your green card application. We sent the application on September, but we have not received the notice letter yet. Thank you for your advice. So your green card and work permit application was returned to you twice. Why was it returned to you? What was the RFE? What was the problem? I don't know. What was the problem? You haven't received the letter yet. Well, they'll respond to you, okay? But they're really busy people, okay? What was the reason they were sent back to you? Christopher Reese, good evening. Getting excited. September file. It looks like they're reviewing August now. They are actually looking at August right now, and September. Some in September too. But you won't see that on the USCIS website. You're going to hear it right here. Okay. Francois Livingston. So the first line, 1, line 2, add 1, then bottom wipe out the 1 and put a 2. Yeah, that's how you do it. But you know what? 99% of the people screw that up because they get, it's confusing. Because on this form, right, it's really confusing. Because on the form it says, if you are currently married, and a 1 right here. Right here, it says if you're currently married, and a 1. But this is absolutely nothing to do with you applying, helping for the green card, for the 2-year green card. 1 goes here for Hamid, right here. Enter the total number of immigrants you are sponsoring on this affidavit. How many people did you bring into America? You brought 1 person, Hamid, right? So he goes here, 1. Number underneath there, this is you. This is Francois. So it's 1 and 1, and then all these blocks here are 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then here it's going to be 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. But there's a 1 in there from the computer. So how do you get rid of the 1? You get some word out and you go poof, and you write 2 in there with a black ink pen. Do you understand, Francois? Have you got it? No, they're not silly questions, Francois. They're serious questions. So many people mess it up. Do you know what people do? They say, okay, they put their number of people they sponsored here, K1s and K2s. Let's suppose you brought 2 K2s and a K1 over. That's 3 people. So a 3 goes in here. And then yourself is 4. And then they ask the question, are you married? And they say, yeah. So they put a 1 in there, I'm married. So that's 5. So they put a family size of 5 when it's 4. And it gets sent back. You get an RFE. Hey, you didn't fill out your 864 correctly. The family size doesn't match the family size. Why is that? Because it's a confusing question. So you're going to put the number of people you brought to America here in that box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many it is. Here is going to be the sponsor. In this case, Francois. You add this number. So Hamid goes here. You go here. That's 2. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then 2 goes here. And you widen this out. And you put a 2 in it. That's how it works. And if anybody's watching this who follow my directions, like I just said, you're going to do just fine. Let me see. Christopher Reese, how do you get your info? Well, I just get my info. I asked all the time and say I have no idea. I know little about the process, learning more daily. Well, that's why I put the channel together. It was Karina's idea. Karina, right here, my wife from Venezuela. We were in Central Colombia. I was on a 1-year visa. The Colombian government gave me a 1-year visa to live in Colombia, so I didn't have to be separated from Karina because of this long process. And we were in Villa de Leyva, which is Central Colombia, and Karina said, why don't you do something? I had a YouTube channel that was about food. Then I changed it to about Colombia. And then Karina said, well, let's make it about immigration. So here it is. I've got 10 years of experience doing this, okay? So if you have a question about K1 visas or green cards, K2s, spousal visas, tourist visas, ask me right here, and I'll give you the answer. Usually within a few minutes, if I don't know. But if I know right off the top of my head, if I don't have to think about it, I can get it to you right away. But Christopher, we want you to learn as much as you possibly can so you don't have to pay an immigration attorney $4,000 or $5,000 to do this easy process. It's easy to do, but it's a lot of time and a lot of work, okay? It's a lot of paperwork, but it's easy paperwork. If you can read and write, add and subtract, you can do this. Francois, okay, Francois, in part 6, page 6, the sponsor's employment and income. I'm betting I filled that out too. Yes, because you're the sponsor. It lists person 1, person 2, and person 3. Okay, well, let's go to page 6 because I got the form right here, the current edition. Current 6 says, sponsors employment and income continued. So person 1, yeah. So you're going to put you're the person 1, Francois, and your total income is going to go here, and then that's it. And then you go on down to number 12. You got it? My current annual household income is, and that's going to go right here. It's easy, Francois. You can do this. You can do this. I got confidence in you. Christopher Reese. And then Francois says, is that for me too? Yeah, it's all about the sponsor. The I-864 is all about the sponsor. Okay? The 485 is all about the beneficiary. But there's information in there also about the sponsor. Let's see here. Yeah, Francois, that's for you too. Come on, let's put Francois, I'm going to put pixie dust on your 864, okay? It's right here. This is the K1 Visa Green Card MAGA Super Lucky 2025 pixie dust. See that? There you go. Look. K1 Visa Green Card Super Lucky MAGA 2025 pixie dust. Now you're going to get it perfect. Christopher Reese, I'm going to need help with that form soon. Okay, I'm here for you. I do the live stream to help you guys. Francois, I got it. Okay, and I'm doing this in pencil as you guide me. Oh, that's a good idea. So I make sure I do it correctly. So what I recommend is you fill out in pencil first. That's what I did. Okay, and then when I had everything perfect, I ran it through the computer and did it on the computer. But you got to have some whiteout, guys. Don't be scared. When you get to page 5 of this 864, the computer automatically creates a number 1 for total family size. But there's no such thing as a family size of 1. It doesn't exist. Not for immigration. So you got your whiteout, and then you change the 1 to your family size. Let me see. Ren S. No, wait a second. Christopher Reese. On that form, if I bring my fiance over, then a year later I do put 1. Do I put 1 or 2, or do I have to do a form for a year later? Christopher, when you fill out form I-864 for your green card application for your new wife when she gets here, the family size, okay, is going to be how many people you brought to America. How many people? If you bring 1 person to the United States of America, okay, on page 5. Now, this form might change by then, but it's still going to be the same format. This is page 5, right? This is page 5 of the 864. This is the page that gets everybody in trouble because immigration is written in such a way that you keep adding an extra person, and it adds an extra person to the family size, and it's an error. And it's not your fault because it's the way it's written. So I have made it so easy for you to understand that you don't make that mistake. Okay? So, page 5. This is the total family size. This is the total number of people you bring into America. The total number right here. Then this is you, the sponsor. You add these 2 numbers together, and it goes right here. And you got to get some white out and get rid of that 1 and put the right number in there. So how do you know what the family size is? It's the number of K1s and K2s. It's the K1 plus how many K2s you brought over. If you have your K1 and she has 5 kids, 5 children, not kids, 5 children. 5 children and 1 is 6, plus you is 7. Right? So 7's going to go here. But with Francois, she has 1 person, Hammond. Let's see here. Renes, I have a question. If I start a new job on the tax portion of the deduction, do we put our spouse as a dependent? Yes. He's still not working. It doesn't matter. But did he get his work permit? It doesn't matter if he's not working, Renes. He's your dependent. You signed a USCIS Form I-864. That makes him your dependent. He is solely dependent upon you. Okay? Francois, I got it. And I'm doing this in pencil as you guide me. Yeah, make sure I do it correctly. Yeah, that's right. Big thanks. Mountain Dew salute, Francois. Because we're going to get her through this right here live here on January 11th, 2025. We're doing it live. We're doing the 864 live. I'm teaching you how to do it so you don't make any mistakes. Let me see. Ren S. Before I was married, I never added any dependents apart from my child. I only ask is why the sponsor was responsible for the spouse. You gotta, Ren S. You can't look at your husband from where did he come from? Ghana, right? As your spouse in an immigration paperwork. He's your beneficiary. That's who he is. And you are responsible for him financially. You got to feed him. You got to take care of his medical needs. You got to put a roof over his head. You got to make sure he has a place to live and he's got a place to sleep. And you're feeding him. He's a beneficiary. He's a benefit to this K1. But now he's your husband. Okay? And before you were married, you never added any dependents apart from your child. Right. But now you got a husband. So now, and he's your dependent, just like your child. As we promised in the affidavit of support. Yeah, I got you through the affidavit of support, Renes. Nick Guzman. Hi, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Nick and your family. Question from Nick Guzman. My wife's adjustment of status on a K1 visa was sent on October 5th. Trump will be in office in a couple of weeks. Yes, he will. Will the adjustment of status be delayed big time or more requirement be required? No. President Trump is not going to stop green card applications or K1 visas. He's going to help you. He's going to shake your hand and welcome you to America because you did it the legal way. But if you came into this country illegally, you best start looking for a way out and self-deport. Francois, look at those super chats from Francois. Francois Livingston, big thank you for both of your support and guidance. Mountain Dew salute. Francois Livingston, big thank you for your support. Anytime, Francois. You jump on the live stream, I'm going to get you through this green card application. I'm going to get you through it and you don't make a mistake. Let me see. Christopher Reese, it'll be her and her son a year later. Okay, Christopher Reese. So this is the family size. You. Now let me show you on the affidavit of support. Let me show you on the affidavit of support on page 5. This is without my glasses too. So you're going to bring your wife, your fiance, you're going to get, and her son will be 2. This is the total number of people that you brought to America is 2. Then here is going to be you, Christopher, will be 3. So it's going to be 2 plus 1, and you put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 here, and you put 3 right there at the bottom. You got it? It's easy. You can do this. Nick Guzman, Trump is not going to delay big time K1 visas or green card applications. Okay. Now, what he's going to probably do, which I'm sure he's going to do, he's going to make the screening process for people that live in countries like Iran and some other countries, Syria, Iran, those in particular. Now, I'm not picking on those 2 countries, but I just know what he's going to do in my mind. If you live in Iran or Syria and you're trying to get a green card through a K1, there's going to be a longer wait time. There's going to be a lot more scrutiny. Okay? Because remember, I don't know of any government offices that are left standing in Syria. They've been all bombed and blown up by whoever. Okay? I don't know if the Russians or the Americans or other Muslim groups, I don't know. But the government buildings don't exist. So it's kind of hard to adjudicate somebody from Syria to make sure they're not going to be a problem in the United States. Right? Now, there's people from Syria that live in Florida, and they're welcome here. But they were adjudicated properly. They were screened. And it's going to take a little bit longer. So if you're from Iran or Syria, I'm sorry, but it's the way it is. Your green card application or your K-1 visa application is going to be scrutinized, and it's going to take longer to get. Trust me on that one. It's going to happen. And there's a few other countries too. But Syria and Iran are on the top of my head right now. But it's not going to, Nick Guzman, it's not going to hurt you. What country are you processing your green card from? What country is your wife from, Nick? I'm just curious to know. Francois, why do I get sweats doing the paperwork? Don't sweat it, Francois. It's easy. It's easy to do. If you need for me to go over step by step, page by page, I'll do it. Ooh. Renes, and when my husband starts to work on my tax portion of any job, I got to do not as a dependent. Renes, when your husband starts work in the United States in the great state of Texas, okay, he's going to get a W-2 from wherever he's working. Unless he's self-employed, then he'll fill out a 1099. And if he's a sole proprietor or he has an LLC, he's going to have to fill out a Schedule C. I'm not a CPA. I just know how to do this. I've run companies in the past, okay? I've ran companies in the past. When you get the W-2 for him, for your husband, Renes, which will be next year, because he's going to start work in 2025. So in January of 2026, he's going to get a W-2. You're going to file a joint tax return together. Okay, you can file a joint tax return together for 2024 taxes if you got married in 2023, but you didn't, so you can't. And Christopher, you're going to bring your fiance over and her son a year later. Why are you going to wait an extra year? Why are you going to do that? The K2 visa is good for 1 year. The K1 visa is good for 6 months. So you got to be careful that you don't go past a year on the K2, or he will be denied access to the United States. And you're going to have to file a family visa, an I-130 for a family member. Be careful, Christopher, on that. Zena, we sent our green card and work permit on September after it was returned twice. We have not received notice. All you can do is wait, Zena. Just wait for immigration to contact you. As long as did you send back the paperwork to immigration via FedEx, UPS, DHL? Did the courier service send you notification that immigration received the paperwork? But I got to give Mountain Dew salutes to Francois. I got to give 2 Mountain Dew salutes for Francois. 1 for 2 super chats. 1 and 2. And we got to put more pixie dust on Francois' 864 because she says she's having the sweats. No sweats. There's nothing to sweat this form about. It's easy. But people mess it up all the time because they get confused. So I am unconfusing everybody. Terrence Tembigo. Terrence Tembigo. Hello, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Terrence? How is your family, Terrence? Antonio Clark. Question for you. Okay. How long did it take for your wife to get a green card? 3 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days. After she got approved for a work permit, 2 months. Was it 1 month or 2 months? Okay, so Karina got her green card a month and a couple of weeks after her work permit. It was quick. Terrence, does my fiance have to go get a round trip ticket for a K1 visa? No, one-way ticket. A K1 visa is a one-way visa from whatever country you're in to America. It's a one-way trip, okay? When I bought Karina her plane ticket from Bogota, Colombia to Miami, it was one way. One way. And then we had when we were checking in with the airline, Avianca Airlines. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning in Bogota. We had all the suitcases and the bags and everything else. The lady was new on the job, and she's looking at Karina's K1 visa, and she's like, "What's this?" And Karina told her in Spanish, "That's a K1 visa." Well, what does it mean? It means that she has permission to go to America. So then the lady who was young, I don't know if she didn't, I think she just graduated high school. She went to her supervisor and said, "I watched her. I'm watching her. She walked down the aisle, and she's talking to her supervisor, and the supervisor's nodding her head. It's okay, it's okay." So she came back and she said, "Okay." She took the suitcase. They weighed it because we had everything Karina's in her whole life in one big suitcase, right? And I had to pay $100 for the freaking for the suitcase because it was so heavy. But it's all good. I'm glad to do it. She entered the immigration line and she got on the plane with me. We sat down, we rested back, and we flew one way from Bogota to Miami. Let me see. So, Terrence, it's a one-way ticket. Unless a return ticket is cheaper. If you can buy a return ticket and it's half the price, buy the return ticket. When you get to America, you cancel the trip back to the foreign country. And then you made a deal there, right? Bambone 1, hello, sir. Now, my dad is sir. I'm Diego. My K1 was sent to the National Visa Center. What does an NVC normally ask to provide? They ask for nothing. The National Visa Center has no control over the K1 visa in regards to approving or disapproving. There's only two places that can approve and disapprove a K1 visa. That's the Service Center, USCIS Service Center, okay, and the embassy or the consulate. The National Visa Center, they get the K1 visa. They look through it to make sure there's no mistakes. You didn't screw it up. If there's no mistakes, they will then forward the K1 visa application to the embassy or the consulate. And then the MVC will send you a notice saying, this is your case number, this is your receipt number, this is your invoice number, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So, Bambone 1, when your K1 visa gets to the National Visa Center, you're going to wait for the MVC welcome letter. And then you're going to wait for the in-transit status and the ready status. The in-transit status is when the National Visa Center put your K1 visa package in the back of an airplane in New Hampshire in a consulate pouch, and they mail it. And then DHL is the contractor. DHL is the official contractor for the U.S. government for visas. DHL will fly it to whatever country your fiance is in, to the embassy in a diplomatic pouch. So it doesn't have to go through all the customs garbage. It just goes straight to the embassy. The embassy will not ask you for anything. Now, if the MVC catches a problem in the K1 visa application, they send it back to the service center and they say to the service center, contact the applicant, the sponsor, and have them fix this. If there's no errors, the MVC will take your package and mail it to the embassy. You'll get the in-transit status. You'll get an MVC welcome letter. You're going to get the invoice number, the number. You're going to get all. And then the embassy is going to send you a ready status when they're ready for you. Okay? I hear Vinny the cat crying at the door. Mi amor, por favor, permiso, Vinny in Livestream. So your K1 was sent to the MVC, Bambone 1. Just wait for the MVC welcome letter, and that's it. Nothing else to do. Tammy, hello, good night. Question 7 on the I-485. How would I answer if I'm adjusting from K1 and then the K1 is expired? Let me see. I'm going to have to look. But the K1 visa is expiring is irrelevant. Okay? Because you're applying for the K1, you're applying for the green card. So you're not going to have to worry. Let me look. I've got everything here, guys. So let me see here. Question 76. What is question 76? I don't know. There's a question 76. I don't see a question 76. Okay, right here. Question 76 is, have you ever been excluded, deported, or removed from the United States? That's what question 76 is. So, Tammy, be more precise with your question. Question what? You say question 76. Question 76. Have you ever been excluded, deported, or removed from the United States? That's what question 76 is. So rephrase the question with the correct page and the correct question number, because that's what 76 is. Francois, easy for you, Diego, because you're a pro. No, I'm not a pro. I just got experience. I've got, it's like driving a car, right? The more time you're behind the wheel, the more experience you get, the more stuff you learn. And you learn different things every day, right? It's just experience, that's all. Fanny, our cat is trying to climb in the closet. So Tammy says, question 76. No, I have the new edition 10/24/24. 10/24/24. Okay, so I probably need to reprint. So I've got to reprint the form. I have to reprint the form, Tammy, because this one's expired. Because this one is 3/31. This is 3/31/2027. This edition expires on March 31st, 2027. And edition 8/28/2024. This expires 2027. You have the new edition 10/24, October 24th, 2024. That one's no good. Throw that one in the trash. That I-485 is useless. You got to be working off of March 31, 03/31/2027. You got to be working off of this one right here. So this is the edition you got to be working from. Okay, for the residency adjustment status form, 3/31/2027. So you need to throw that form away. Otherwise, you're going to get your whole package rejected from immigration. But your question is this. Question 76, how would I answer if I'm adjusting from K1 and the K1 is expired? Write out the question for me on that expired form. Write it out, and I'll give you the answer. You're just going to have to write out what it says because you're working off of an expired form. Francois, it's not easy, okay? But I've got 10 years of doing this. In life, I am a cool being, but doing the K1 and now the green card paperwork is sweaty. It's the sweaty work, anxiety. I understand, and sleepless nights are back. No, Francois. Listen, I'm going to pull you through this, okay? You and Hamid are going to be just fine, okay? Don't stress it. Zena, yes, though the post office and the tracking number indicated it was delivered. Okay, Zena, if you have received notification that your package was delivered to immigration from the post office with a tracking number, then you just got to wait for immigration. You're going to be doing this, waiting and waiting and waiting. That's what you're going to do. Immigration didn't forget about you. They haven't forgotten about your packet. They haven't forgotten about you. They're going to get to you. Ren S. Garner, yeah, I remember, because I had to call the embassy. I think it was for you. I called the U.S. Embassy in Ghana to get them to wake up and get to work. Antonio Clark, we got our work permit, but it's been 6 months and still no green card. It's 6 to 9 months to get a green card right now. Should I be worried? No. Is there anything I need to do on my end? No. Antonio, first you're going to get pixie dust. Everybody's going to get pixie dust. Number one, you got pixie dust. It's taking 6 to 9 months, okay, to get a green card. So you're getting close to it. You're close. There's nothing to worry about, and there's nothing for you to do. Terrence, my family is good and thanks for asking. Well, we're glad. Because when you file for a K1 visa or for a green card, it's not just one person. It's not just the sponsor waiting or the beneficiary. It's a whole bunch of people, right? Like Karina's family in Colombia and in Venezuela we're like, how's everything going? What's the status? You know, everybody was asking questions, waiting and waiting, and I would give them a response, say, this is the status. And they'd all relax and say, okay, because they know when I say something, it's real. Okay? Just got to be patient, guys. Francois, sponsors alien number. Is that the A number that was assigned to me with our K1 visa was approved? Yes. Francois, Hamid's alien number is below his name on the NOA2 letter. When you got his K1 visa approved, you received an NOA2 letter. On the NOA2 letter, by his name, it's either above it or below his name, is Hamid's alien number, his A number. That goes where they ask for the alien, when the sponsor's alien number. Oh, that's for you. Yeah, Francois, that will be on your naturalization certificate. So if you came to the United States as a foreign national, you got married, or you became a U.S. citizen, you were issued a naturalization certificate. On the naturalization certificate, it's going to tell you that it's going to show where you were naturalized, and it's going to give your alien number on the top right-hand corner of the alien naturalization certificate. So Francois, the question is the sponsor's A number, is that what was assigned to me when the K1 visa was approved? No. When your K1 visa was approved, Francois, if you came to the United States, how did you come to the United States? How did you get here? You came, but did you become a naturalized American? If you did, the alien number is going to be on your alien naturalization. Is going to be on your naturalization certificate. Bambone One, thank you, Diego. When will I provide the affidavit of support? There's the declaration of financial support that you fill out, the USCIS form I-134. That form you fill out for your beneficiary to take to the U.S. Embassy for her scary visa interview. The affidavit of support is USCIS form I-864. You fill that out when you apply for the green card, for the 2-year green card. You got it? You got that? Tammy, I have the new edition. No, I have the new edition, 10/24/24. Okay. Well, this one expires in 2027. So how is it you have a new edition? 2024 is past. This form expires in 2027. You got to get this one. Let me see. Francois, I have 10/31/2027. That's correct. Francois gets a Mountain Dew salute because she has the right form, the right edition date for the 86 for the 485. Good work, Francois. You are top of the class as always. I printed it right away after you posted the video. There you go. Antonio Clark, okay, thank you and Happy New Year. Now, I'm not Sir Antonio. My dad is Sir. He lives in Thailand. Happy New Year to you and everybody. Tammy, I have the form I-485 current edition 10/24. It is the most recent form. Okay, well, I can't repeat myself any more than I have. So this one expires 20. I will take a look and see, but give me the question on the form and I will give you the answer. Write it out for me. Francois Livingston, I came when I was 13 legally, and yes, I'm naturalized, proud American citizen, Diego. Yeah, you're American, Francois. You are a U.S. citizen, American citizen. You're American. But on your naturalization certificate, on the top right-hand corner is going to be your alien registration number that you were issued. Okay? That's where you can find it. Francois, I came when I was 13 legally and married. Yep. Tammy, look at the bottom. This form here, the bottom right-hand corner is edition, August 28th, 2024. I'm going to take a look. I just need the question. Then I'll get the most current form. ¿Dónde teléfono, mi amor? Karina, por favor. I'm going to look up right here. I'm going to go in and see what the form is, okay? The current edition. And it's a 485. Now, I'm not ignoring you guys, but I want to make sure I get the right form. Okay? And it's easier to do. I can look it up right here, even without my glasses. And the edition date is the edition date on this form is 10/24/24. Starting for, okay, you're correct. So the edition date for USCIS form 485 is 10/24/24, starting February 10th, 2025. We will accept only the 10/24 edition until then. No, you got it wrong. No, wait a second. Let me see here. On starting February 10th, 2025, we will accept only the 10/24/24 edition. Until then, you can use the 8/28/24. Okay, I gotcha. Well, that's kind of crazy because this form expires in 2027. Look, can you see that? So why would they go back in time? But I'm going to go with whatever the USCIS says on the forms, okay? So let's look it up here. I'm going to punch it out, and I'm going to blow it up. Okay. It expires, Tammy, listen. This is the right form. I never make a mistake. I am at 0 errors, okay? The current 485 form expires on 10/31/2027, not 2024. You have the same, I have the same expiration date, 10/31/2027. Okay, gotcha. This one is 3/31/2027. It's now 10/21. You're right. So on this form, I'm going to look up the question 76, right? You have question 76 for me. So I'm on the right form. I just got to reprint this one. Question 76, and I'm going to find the question for you, and I'm going to give the answer. I just wish immigration would quit reprinting frickin' forms. Okay, let's see here. 76. Question 76. I'm paging and paging and paging, and we're getting close. We're getting close. Here it is. Okay, question 76, general, page 21. Oh, now you're helping me. Now you're helping me. Page 21. I'm on page 21, question 76. Since April 1st, 1997, have you been unlawfully present in the United States? The answer is going to be no. Tammy, I got it, Tammy. I'm on the right form. They just printed they got a new edition date. Okay, I just got to reprint that edition date. Question 76 is asking, since April 1st, 1997, have you been unlawfully present in the United States? The answer is no. Right? You asked me about question 76 on page 21. I'm on page 21, and that's question 76. Bambone, okay, thanks, because I thought I will need that for the NVC. No, you don't. Bambone 1, you don't need the affidavit of support 864 for the National Visa Center or for the U.S. Embassy appointment. You need declaration of financial support. Bambone 1, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need USCIS form I-134. Okay, that's for the embassy. The 864 is for the green card application. Okay, you got it? The 864 is for the green card application. And Francois came to America when she was 13. She's a proud American. Larry Piercy, my 485 should be like yours, Diego. Mine expires 2/28/26. Okay. Tammy, so question 76. Since April 1997, have you been unlawfully present? No. So now I understand your question. You are worried because your I-94 has expired. Your K-1 visa expired the day you landed in the United States of America. When you arrived in America, your K-1 visa became irrelevant. The visa is used to get from country A to the United States. That's all it's for. Then you check in with the Border Patrol, the Customs and Border Patrol. Then they issue you an I-94. The I-94 is good for 90 days. The I-94 says basically the immigration officer, the Border Patrol officer is going to say, hey, don't forget, you got to get married within 90 days. You get married within 90 days between the dates on the I-94, you're in status. So let's suppose when your I-94 expires, you get married within 90 days, but you don't file for the green card until 4 months later. You're still in status. So the question to the answer is going to be no. Tammy, you got it? On page 21, the answer is going to be no. Okay, you're not unlawfully in the United States. You are here within status because you got married within 90 days. So that answered the question. So I'm just glad you're on the channel. And now Vinny, our cat, is trying to eat the corner of the light so everybody can see us. And she's trying to get up to the blind. Now she's trying to grab the blinds. Tammy, yes, thanks. I was confused. Now you're good, right? Let me explain it one more time. The K-1 visa is used to go from country A to the United States of America. It expires when you landed in wherever. When Karina landed in Miami with me, her K-1 visa became irrelevant. But you got to take a picture of it and make a copy of it for your green card application. Then she was issued an I-94. Karina was issued an I-94. It was good for 90 days. We got married within the 90 days. We got married on January 14th. We landed on January 3rd. Right? That's less than 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then 58 days later, we filed for the green card. And then we got the green card in 3 months, 2 weeks, and a couple of days. Karina's I-94 expired by the time she got her green card. But it was irrelevant. Her K-1 visa was terminated the minute she landed in Miami. It became irrelevant. Her I-94 had expired while we were still waiting for the green card. The green card arrived in the mail. Her I-94 was already expired, but she was in status because we got married within 90 days. You get married within 90 days, you're in status. If you get married after 90 days and you file for the green card, you won't get the green card. It ain't going to happen. You're going to be deported. Got it? Tammy, you got it. Mark Lennon, can you tell me how to get a certified release letter from different countries? You're talking about a police certificate, including Interpol. Can you do it online? Well, which country are we talking about? I know what you were talking about, Mark. You said certified police certificate. Sorry, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Us. Well, Karina's this channel was all Karina's idea. You got to be thanking Karina. To get a police certificate, tell me what country. I will tell you how to do it right here, right now, if you tell me what country. Accra, Ghana, Renes. Tammy says she understands. Good. Yeah. I make it easy. I make the process easy. Immigration make it difficult. Immigration attorneys say it's difficult, but it's not. It's not hard, guys. Mark Lennon, I will help you. Ukraine, Poland, and Germany. Okay, getting a police certificate from Ukraine is going to probably be difficult. Poland and Germany is easy. You can do it online. You may be able to get the police certificate from Ukraine online. So you're a beneficiary. She's from what country? She's either from Ukraine, Poland, or Germany, and she worked in the other two countries. or she lived in the other 2 countries greater than 6 months. But you go, what you do, like Karina was from Venezuela and lived in Colombia for 6 years. So Karina went online at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's when the Venezuelan police, the Bolivar police have their internet working, apparently. She got the Venezuelan police certificate online. She went online. She put in her scheduler number from Venezuela, which is her social security number from Venezuela. They asked what country is requesting the police certificate. She put United States of America. And I'm glad it was back then and not now, with this freaking Maduro dude causing trouble. So she went online with her scheduler number, and then it populated. It looked into the police records of Karina's police records, and it came up nothing. So it showed up on her laptop. Her police certificate of Venezuela popped up on the laptop, and then she emailed it to this person across the street, and they printed it for her. And then she got her scheduler number from Colombia, because the Colombian government issued Karina a protective asylum status scheduler, which is like a social security number. She went online and it popped up, and there it was for Karina for Colombia. And then they asked her to get an Interpol police certificate, because she'd been living in Colombia for 6 years. They wanted to make sure she wasn't a member of the FARC, or not. How. Whatever. We do what we're told to do. Immigration says jump 5 feet, we jump 5 feet. She got her Interpol police certificate. She got her Venezuelan police certificate and her Colombian police certificate online. She got her Interpol police certificate in person at Interpol in Bogota, and they emailed it to her. So you can do it online. And the Interpol police certificate, let me see if she even needs it. Rennes, they would open their calendar so I could schedule my husband's K1 visa interview. They opened the calendar up, Rennes, after I emailed the embassy and called the embassy and told them who I knew in Washington, D.C. They got it stuff done for you, right? Mark Lennon, Ukraine, Poland, and Germany. She left Ukraine when the war started and lives in Poland. Now lives in Germany. Okay, so she's Ukrainian. Right? So she's Ukrainian. That's her country of origin. And she lived in Poland and Germany. So you go on to get the Ukrainian police certificate. It may be tough to get, but you can do it online. When she was in Ukraine, here's what I would do, Mark. Here's the way you do it. You Google, or have your beneficiary Google, or she's going to have to do it. Because in Ukraine, they may ask her for her passport number. Does she have a Ukrainian passport? And it hasn't expired yet, right? How long is her Ukrainian passport good for? She's got to have at least a good 10 years on it, all right? Go online. She needs to go online and Google Ukrainian police certificate. And then it will... Yes, to 2032. Okay. Mountain Dew salute for the 2032, Mark. Now I feel a lot better for your beneficiary. But what you're going to do is you're going to ask your beneficiary, call her up, or email her, or WhatsApp, or whatever, have you communicate, and tell her she needs to go online to the Ukrainian police department, the Polish police, and the German police, and look at the process for getting a police certificate. Google Ukrainian police certificate. Google Polish police certificate. Google German police certificate. And it will come up with a plate. It will show you what she has to do to get the police certificate. Okay? So she left the Ukraine when the war started. So she left. Very good. She got out of there after Putin ordered the invasion. So it's a couple of years now. So she's been in Germany for quite a while. If she lived in Poland and then she went to Germany. But they're easy to get. The police certificates are not difficult. You can get them. But with Ukraine, it all depends on what's going on in Ukraine right now with the government. Are they even open to process a police certificate for Ukraine? But the only way to find out is to Google it. Google Ukrainian police certificate. In fact, I'll do it tomorrow. or I'll do it for you before the next live stream, and I'll have that information if you come back on the live stream. But it's not difficult to get a police certificate. The hardest place to get a police certificate is Hong Kong. Okay? She will need one from Interpol because she lives more than one other country. Yeah. Karina needed one because she lived in different countries. They pulled I think because it was Venezuela and Colombia. Now remember, in Colombia, in the jungles, there's some bad folks out there. Well, they think they're probably good, but there's folks in Colombia. There's some communists who are members of who are FARC. I think the reason they pulled Karina, I think the reason they asked Karina to get her Interpol police certificate was because they wanted to make sure she wasn't a member of any communist organizations, which she isn't. That's why she left Venezuela, to get away from that crap. And then the president of Colombia gave her protective asylum in Colombia. But the U.S. government, in its infinite wisdom, okay, has always got to create a freaking something, right? So when she got the Interpol police certificate, it said, no, Karina's never been a member of FARC. She's never been a member of the Communist Party, blah, 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 which we already knew. She got out of Venezuela because of communism. And she told Maduro, she gave Maduro the middle finger, okay? She said, I'm not living in Venezuela under a communist dictatorship. So she got asylum in Colombia. She didn't go crying to the American embassy, oh, give me asylum. No, she got to Colombia. And then we met each other. And we dated for a year. Karina had no intention of moving to America until she met me. She was happy in Colombia. And then she goes, she was wanting me to go live in Colombia. And I'm like, no, I live here. So I convinced Karina to come to America because I'm a good negotiator. So here she is. And the reason for the Interpol police certificate was because Karina was from Venezuela, living in Colombia, which has a communist infestation up on the West Coast in the jungles. And all they wanted to do was to make sure she didn't join that group of people. So Karina's like telling the embassy, okay, I'll get an Interpol police certificate, no problem. It's easy. It took a month to get it, but that's the reason they asked her for it, not because of really living in Venezuela. Yeah, because she lived in Colombia for 6 years. Why are you living in Colombia for 6 years, Karina? What's the deal? What's the deal? The deal is she likes to put food on the table. She likes to put gas in the car. She likes to heat the house and have a roof over her head. Because in Venezuela, the communist dictatorship there has destroyed that country. President Trump, when he gets in office January 20th, he's talking about Greenland and the Panama Canal. Well, that's great. But the real problem is in freaking Venezuela for South America. So Trump, what he needs to do is do something proactive and help Maduro find another place to live other than Venezuela. My opinion. That's why she had to get the Interpol police certificate. No, it's all about the communist insurgency in Colombia, which is pretty much decimated now anyway, because when President Duque was president, he pretty much wiped those people out too. Let me see. Francois Livingston, you're the best, Diego and Karina. Couldn't get through part 2 of our journey without your support, guidance, and patience. Can't say thank you enough. Francois, we're always here for you. Everybody. If you jump on this live stream, okay, and I never ever ask anyone to subscribe to this channel. To me, that's like stupid. Either you like the channel or you don't. Why would I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel? If you don't like it, why would you subscribe to it? But the only people that can ask questions in the live stream are those who have subscribed. And the reason I did that was to eliminate all the stupid questions I was getting from people, that were trying to disrupt the live stream. If there's some people out there would come on the live stream, they try to disrupt it. In the past, I would have it open to anybody could ask me a question. But when you do that, okay, I don't know who comes out of the woodwork, but there's people coming out of the woodwork who shouldn't be on this channel. So I said, okay, in order to make it more efficient and streamlined, I just say if you're a subscriber, you can ask me questions in the live stream. And then if you're not a subscriber, that's fine. You can still go back and watch the live stream and see the questions and learn from the channel, but you can't come in here and disrupt the smooth flow of questions. Let me see here. So Mark, you need to contact Mark Lennon. You got to contact your fiance and ask her to Google Ukraine, Poland, and Germany online for police certificates. And then that will take you to where you're supposed to go, and then you can get them, okay? Bambone 1, will I need paycheck stubs or 1040 to submit with the USCIS I-134? You're going to need your last 3 tax returns or tax transcripts. Tax transcripts are better. Your last 3 1040s, last 3 years 1040s, and 6 months worth of pay stubs. And I would say 12 months worth of bank statements. So immigration can see your direct deposits going into your account. Immigration want to see how much money you make. When you go to the embassy, you got to make 100% of the minimum federal poverty guidelines, because a K1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. It's a temporary visa, so you only got to be at 100%. A K1 visa is a non-immigrant visa that gives you temporary status in the United States. When you get to the United States, you got 90 days to make a decision, which is a temporary status, right? You got 90 days to make a decision. When you land in America, the K1 visa goes away. You're on a 994. Either you get married or you don't, right? You get married within 90 days, you're in status. K1 visas, the K1 visa becomes irrelevant the minute the plane wheels land in America. Then you're working on a 994. And Mark Lennon, give your fiance our best wishes and our best wishes to her, being from Ukraine. Okay, I know it's hard for her. She had to leave her country, and because of Putin and his, but you got to remember now, Putin was getting nervous also. Putin was getting a little worried. Ukraine was going to maybe join NATO, and the U.S. government was putting freaking missiles in Poland. So you can understand the Russians were getting a little nervous. I'm not saying Putin did the right thing to invade Ukraine. It was a bad thing what he did, but you got to look at the political spectrum. It's United States sticking their nose again in the business of Poland, putting missiles in Poland, and the Russians are like, what the heck? What did the United States do when the Russians put freaking missiles in Cuba? John F. Kennedy, the John F. Kennedy was like, what the heck? We're almost in nuclear war, right? So how do you think the Russian government was feeling when the United States was putting freaking missiles in Poland, right on the border with Russia? It was not good. Anyway, Mark Lennon, your beneficiary won't need a Interpol police certificate. She won't. And Mark Lennon, USCIS received our K1 visa package November 1st. Okay, great. We're waiting for an NOA 2 letter. Mark, did you get the NOA 1 letter? So I'll reach out to you later. I'll reach out to you again. Yeah. If you hang out on the channel, Mark, did you get your NOA 1 letter? The first thing you should have got was an NOA 1 letter telling you where your K1 visa package, what service center it went to. Once you know which service center it went to, then you know who you're going to communicate with. Oh, you're welcome, Mark. Ted, hello, Diego. Do you have a video of all the things needed to submit for a green card? Yes, I got plenty. I got like 2 or 3. It's called adjustment of status. If you go into the channel and look for videos, if you type in adjustment of status, it will take you to that video. There's about 2 of them. So Ted's question, the colonel, now Ted is a colonel, okay? He's our colonel friend. Do you have a video of all the things needed to submit for the green card? Yes. And I will go over the things needed for the green card if you want me to. I will go over them with you now. The priority stuff. I can do it for you right live. Ted, I have a lot already, but I don't want to miss anything. Listen up, everyone. Diego made everything for me to get the K1 visa Easy peasy. Now let's get the green card. Okay, listen, Ted. This must be in the green card application. This is mandatory. USCIS form I-485. All right? The most recent edition in USCIS. The 864, USCIS form 864, the affidavit of support. You must have that form in there. The 693, the medical exam. You got to repeat the medical exam, Ted, for your beneficiary. Start in December of 2024, USCIS changed the rules and they said you got to have a mandatory medical exam. And you got to recertify the vaccinations, and the civil surgeon has to re-sign USCIS form 693. Listen, Ted, you got to have the I-94. When your beneficiary entered the United States, she was issued an I-94 by Court, Border, and Customs. You got to print 6 copies of that. One of those has to go in the adjustment of status paperwork. You got to make a color copy blown up of the K-1 visa. That blown up copy of the K-1 visa, nice and big so immigration can read it. A blown up copy in color of your passport biographic page. A blown up color copy of your beneficiary's biographic page of her passport from whatever country she came from. Okay? So let's reiterate. The 485, right? The 484, the 693, the I-94, the biographic page of the passports, a blown up copy of the K-1 visa. Okay? That's the basics. 2 passport photos. 2 passport photos in Ziploc bags, in a Ziploc bag. Has to be included in the green card application. Photos of your wedding, your marriage certificate, any divorce decrees signed and certified by the courthouse, not a copy from Office Depot. If you have a divorce under your belt, when you file for the green card, you got to include a certified copy from the courthouse. So the clerk of the court will print the divorce decree. She will stamp it, or he will stamp it and sign it. That goes in the green card application. If you have an annulment in your family, if you have a death, like let's suppose you're married to somebody and the person passed away, you got to prove that you're still legally free and able to marry. You got to make a certified copy of the death certificate, mandatory. The marriage certificate, certified copy, mandatory. Pictures of the wedding, pictures of the honeymoon, pictures of your relationship going over the last 2 or 3 years. And the day before you mail your green card application to immigration, get a picture with a group of people. Like Karina, we mailed Karina's green card application February 29th of 2024, right? February 28th, we went up to a little town near the Alabama border, and we took pictures up there. Those pictures were dated February 28th, 2024. This is the town we were at. This is the location we were at. Those pictures went into her green card application. So we had 4 years of photos, 4 years worth, okay? Plus the wedding pictures, okay? And she's on the bank account. So we had 2 bank statements included with her name as a joint owner. They go in the green card application. You got to put your wife on the water bill, the electric bill, the gas bill, the trash bill. Get her a library card. Okay, get her a Sam's Club card with you and her, with you included. So you get your 2 Sam's Clubs card. Your Ted here and your wife here. Put it on a white piece of paper. Take a picture. Print it from your computer printer. Include that in the green card application. Any dinner date receipts, like when we had our wedding reception, we had a big lunch at a Mexican restaurant with a whole bunch of people. So I did my selfie thing down this side of the table and down this side of the table, okay, with all the people. Mark says, I'm worried about saying we need 5 certified copies of divorce decrees. We have 1 original copy, which was very hard to get. Listen, Mark, you got to have 5 certified copies of divorce decrees. 1 is certified copy is going to go in the K-1 visa application. Another certified copy is going to go in, is going to go with you to the embassy with your beneficiary. Another certified copy is going to go in the 2-year green card application. Another certified copy is going to go in the 10-year green card application. And the 5th certified copy is going to be for you in your records. Let me explain to you about divorce decrees, marriage certificates, death certificates. Immigration won't accept a copy from freaking Office Depot. They won't. You got to get a certified copy from the courthouse. Okay? You got to do that. You got to do it. And you want at least 5 certified copies. You got to get them because you're going to need them. And you said I understand it's just hard to get them because there's missiles hitting every day, so they're not open often. Well, yeah, in Ukraine, they're getting bombarded every day, but from the Russian military. The Russian military has got no interest in bombing Ukraine. And it's the government that's telling them to do it. Okay? And the military's got to do what they're told, right? Let me see. Ted, so let's get the green card. I gave you a bunch of lists. I gave you a list of stuff right there that you need for the green card. Plus you gotta put that together in a package. Go to Office Depot, buy a 6-inch binder and a bunch of document protectors, and start and build a cover sheet. Make a cover sheet identifying everything that's in the green card application. Mark Lennon, yes. On NOA, I have an online account. The WAC is California, so it went to California. 93% of all K1 visas go to California at the service center. Mark Lennon, I've been using your advice for a whole. Just never commented. You don't have to talk on here. You could just listen. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So if you listen, you learn. I'm worried about saying we need 5 certified copies of divorce. You got to get 5 certified copies of divorce decrees. However difficult it is, you got to get them. If it's difficult, nobody said this was an easy process. It's difficult. It's long. It's not easy. And USCIS and the U.S. government, Homeland Security, put this process in place. The Congress did for a reason. The harder it is, it filters out a lot of fraud. That's the reason why it's so difficult. They want to get rid of the fraudsters, but sometimes they get through the net. Ted, got it all. Listen, when I get the green card, you and your beautiful wife have fish and chips on me and my Colombian wife. That's right, Ted. She's from Colombia. Señor Ted, esposa vive en pasar en Colombia. Muy bien. Excellent, Ted. Fish and chips. Now, we ate fish and chips in Bogota, Colombia at a restaurant called London Calling in northern Bogota. I'd say to Karina, hey, I'm in the mood for fish and chips. We jump on the Transmilenio and go down and we go eat at London Calling restaurant in Bogota, Colombia. And now we just ate fish and chips at a restaurant in Destin, Florida, which is called McGuire's Irish Pub. And Karina loved it. It was grilled fish, not fish and chips, but the chips were close. Mark, hang in there, man. It's not an easy process, okay? But you can do it. Colombia, yeah, Ted's wife is from Colombia. Mark Lennon, I understand that it's just hard to get them because there's missiles hitting every day. Not that often, though. Well, and yes, it's hard to get paperwork from there right now. Right. In Ukraine, it's hard. We were lucky to get 1 original copy. So what you're telling me is that your wife has a divorce under her belt from Ukraine. Is that what you're saying? Ted, remember, I want to believe, and this January 20th will be amazing. A Mountain Dew salute to January 20th, okay? We have the United States of America for the last 4 years has endured an unbelievable economic destruction of our country because of Bidenomics. Now, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I just look at things how they are. And the Biden administration has decimated this economy in the United States. Inflation was at the highest in 50 freaking years. You know, eggs went from $1.50 to $9. A loaf of bread went from $1.40 to $5. Gasoline went from $1.95 under Trump to $5 or $6. It's $8, $9 a gallon in some parts of California. Socialism, communism, and Marxism does not work. Look at Venezuela. Look at communist China. Look at North Korea. Look at Cuba. Cuba's got no freaking electricity. Communism doesn't work. Capitalism lifts people up out of poverty if you're willing to work. If you're willing to work, if you're willing to put forth an effort, you can make $1 million in this country, in America. Now you can, with Biden out of the way, with Trump as the president. President Trump is going to fix all these economic disasters that Biden put in place. Biden's economy was like Maduro's economy. It was basically the same. Well, Karina would maybe disagree because Maduro is probably 100 times worse. Okay. Capitalism in a constitutional republic lifts people out of poverty. Socialism doesn't. Ted, I'm going to help you with the green card, okay? Now, and I remember now your wife is from Colombia. And Mark, you got to get those papers, okay? And January 20th is going to be a turning point in the history of this country for the better. Francois Livingston. Now, I don't care. Now, I'm not saying that because I support Trump because he's a Republican. I couldn't care less about whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care. What I care about is, what is your action? And Trump is an entrepreneur. He's built companies. He's built hotels and golf courses and created thousands and thousands of jobs. Okay? President Biden has created 0 jobs other than the ones he implemented for his buddies in the White House or wherever. Trump is a capitalist. In my mindset, he's an independent. He's not really a Republican, but he is an excellent negotiator. If you're coming to America for the first time, don't be afraid of a President Trump administration. Don't be scared, okay? He's not going to stop you from coming here. If you come in here legally, he's going to welcome you. If you come here illegally, he's going to find you and deport you, especially with this new border czar. This new border czar is going to find you with his team and deport you if you are not in this country legally. Francois, forgot to tell you this. I was able to get a certified copy of the new house deed right on the spot when I filed it yesterday. The original will come in 6 to 8 weeks. Got 3 certified copies now. Good job, Francois. That's excellent work, Francois. And it's unfortunate you live in upstate New York, because if you lived in Florida, you would have got them all done in about 10 minutes. Jairus, hello, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Jairus? Jairus, your name kind of reminds me of the person that's on the 5. He does the Fox News 5. Jairus on the Fox News 5. Now I don't watch much TV. I usually just watch stuff on YouTube to learn stuff. But occasionally I'll watch the news. But it's very, I don't trust the news. The best way to get news is from the Daily Mail or from the Sun. They're British newspapers, or Sky News in Australia. Sky News in Australia is pretty good. They give you the news. They don't give you their opinion. They give you the freaking news. If you want to know what's going on somewhere, watch Sky News. They'll tell you. Okay, but if you watch CNN, they're going to give you their left-wing socialist opinion, and you learn nothing. Like, what the heck? Biden walks on water in CNN right after he destroyed our economy, right? Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour and 34 minutes. I hope you learned something today. I hope Ted, I hope you get back on the channel. If you need help with the green card application, I gave you a bunch of information, but I've made a video about it also. Don't forget to sign the documents with your name. When you sign the USCIS form I-864, you sign your full name. so that immigration can read it. Okay? Don't do a doctor scribble. If you listen, everybody, sponsors and beneficiaries, when you sign paperwork for immigration, they got to be able to read it. The name, first name, middle name, last name. Or in the case of some folks in South America and Central America, first name, middle name, mom's name, dad's name, which is 4 names, right? Because they like to keep their mom and dad's name going with the name, which is good. I like that. But it just makes the name this long, okay? Make sure you sign it so they can read it. Don't forget to sign your documents. Today's Saturday. I hope you have a great weekend. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Francois, thank you for those 2 super chats. We appreciate you. That's going to be a Hardee's breakfast tomorrow for sure. And I'm down to like 4 Mountain Dews, so I'm going to probably stock up on some more Mountain Dews. I'm going to put some pixie dust on everybody today. This is MAGA pixie dust, okay? And that's not MAGA because I'm supporting a Republican president. It's MAGA because it's Make America Great Again. We need to make this country great again. And Trump's going to do it. I'm not saying you got to be a Republican. I'm not saying you got to like Trump. You don't even have to like him. Okay, he can be abrasive sometimes. But he knows what the heck he's doing in regards to building a business. And he's going to run the government like a business. You either perform. If you don't perform, you're going to be fired. That's how it works. We will see you at the next live stream. Francois, good night. Francois, Mark, Lennon, good night. And we will see y'all later.